Welcome to your spelling video for this week. Make sure that you have your spelling baggie, zip top bag. Make sure you got your glue stick ready to go. Make sure you have a pencil nice and sharpened so that you can write out your words. Pair of scissors so you can cut your words out. Spelling notebook and your spelling words. All right, let's get started. We'll cut the words out. Looks like we're doing some Latin roots today. So get your words all cut out, ready to go. Looks like we're doing, interesting, man. I wonder what man is. Because we usually consider man like a man, like a male. Something like that. So we've got man. Looks like we've got scrib, script. Now I'm going to remember I always cut these out like this so that we've got the four words still connected on that, right? And then we're going to make sure that we have all of our words. Now remember, you got to cut these out every night or Monday nights. Cut these all out. So we just cut those. You can have these cut out before we ever start this video. But I want these cut out so that you can sort them while I sort them. So as I tell you about a word, I want you to make sure that you get those words out there also. See, put them out so that you can pick up the right word at the right time. Put it under kind of like what I do. All right, so let's move this a little bit. Let's get these words out here a little bit, if that's okay. We'll scoot these down a little bit. All right, so let's move some of these words around, because there's some of them that I will use, and the rest of them that I don't use, you will do after I am finished. So make sure that you listen to this video all the way to the end, so you know exactly what you got to do. And it shouldn't be a surprise because we've been doing this all year, right? Unless this is your first video. Yeah, whatever. All right, here we go. So we got to glue this in. I always like to cut off this extra piece here. Let's put a little bit of glue right there. Stick this baby on the top. And we're ready to go. So, done with glue. So let's see what we got here. We got Latin roots. We're doing man, scrib, or script. That slashed right there means that these are going to be used similarly. Cred and fac. So let's move these down here a little bit. I always like to leave a little bit of space so we can write down what those words are going to mean. So let's start out with our first word, and we're going to write out man, underline, scrib, slash script. Now I want you to underline these a little bit differently. I want them underlined separately, not together. If we do that, then we can write the words underneath them. Okay, then we've got cred, underline, and then fac. Okay, or fas, or what, I guess we'll find out how we're supposed to say that after we get going on these words. So then you can go ahead and cut these out, because on Tuesday, Wednesday, you can sort these words the way you're supposed to. Get them written out, and then you'll be ready to go. All right, so we'll put these in here. All right, so let's look and see what we got here on our words here. Man, scrib, script, and cred. Let's start out with man. Let's start out with this word right here. Manual. 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 Man. So what does manual mean? If we're doing manual labor, we are doing work by hand. Man actually means hand. How interesting is that? So I wonder how man by itself means hand. Does that mean that we're using our hands because we're man? Maybe that's why they called that man. So we got manual. So this is an interesting one. Let me see. So how do we get manure? Because I don't know about you, but manure doesn't sound like hand. And I hope manure is not near hands. But we got to look back a little bit and think. Manure actually evolved or started from the Middle English word that means to cultivate the land. When you cultivate land, that's what farmers do, is they turn the land over, they put it into rows, they plant things. And back in Middle English times, I guess, when they would farm, they didn't have tractors. And so they did everything by hand. So manure actually evolved from cultivating the land, and it actually means to work with the hands. And so that's kind of interesting, and it kind of changes what it means today. But what do we do with manure? We actually turn it into fertilizer while we are cultivating the land. So I think that's kind of where that came from. So interesting. All right, so we got manual and manure. Let's move into cred. Let's go to cred. So let's talk about, let me find my word. We're going to look for the word. Let's see. I don't have it. Oh, there it is right there. Credible. Credible. Cred. If something is credible, what does it mean? What does it mean? First, before we say that, let's talk about incredible. 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 And what is something that is incredible? If it's incredible, it's usually not believable. That's what that one is. And so cred actually means to believe. So if it's incredible, in means not credible. Wow. Not credible. Wow. So when we're thinking about incredible, we're talking about not being able to believe. I guess you could say that. And so when we look back up and we talk about being credible, credible actually means to believe. So we're going, that is the ability to believe, right? So if you are being credible, that means you are able to believe it. Isn't that interesting? So if you are credible, then we can believe you. But if you are incredible, it's kind of hard to believe. Huh. Cool. All right, so there's cred. All right, let's go to the next word, factory. Factory. We're going to put the FAC on there. Factory. So what do we do in a factory? What do we do in a factory? We make stuff. So that's actually what it is, to make. So a factory is actually a place where we make something. So if we look at another word like, there it is right there. Manufacture, manufacture. When we manufacture something, we are making it. So when we manufacture something, we are actually going to make it. So that's kind of cool. To make. We are making something. So that's kind of interesting. So manu, if we look at the actual form, manu actually means what? Anybody have any idea? To make. Actually, fact is to make. I wonder if manu is like a place. I don't know. Oh, well. Well, look it up. See what you can come up with. I'm looking mine up, and I'm not seeing anything. It kind of means to make, the making of articles. Manu comes from the word manufactum in Latin, which is kind of what we're talking about here, Latin, which means made, which is made from hand. Oh, did you get that? Made from the hand. Man, made from the hand. So when we manufacture something, we actually make it from your hands. Sweet. Well, it used to be made by hand. Now it's not really made. So I think we could put manufacture over here also, couldn't we? So we'll put that in. We'll put manufacture. Wow. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's get to scrib and script, or scribe and script. So when we talk about scribe or script, what we're talking about is what? Let's talk about transcribe. 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 All right, so we're going to underline scribe. And that means what? When we transcribe something, we are actually, yes, we are actually writing. So to scribe actually means to write. So when we transcribe something, remember, tran actually means across. So we are writing across, or we are going from one to another. So when we transcribe something, we take something and we transcribe it to another. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Let's look at another scribe. Oh, let's do script. Manuscript. Manuscript. Underline the script. Script also means to write, because when we're writing in script, that's kind of like writing in a specific type of writing. A manuscript is written by the hand. So we're writing it by, we could write that one under here too. Wow, we got all kinds of these things. Made by the hand, written by the hand. Wow, that's kind of cool. Now, the difference in here, we've got this scrib and script. And the interesting thing about scrib and script is, and even we've got one that's called FACFIC. We don't have any words this time on FIC, but usually what those are kind of the forms of writing. So it's kind of like we use verbs like do, did, done, was, were, be. That's kind of like the different form depending on how we are we're saying it in our sentences. All right. So what I need you to do now is I need you to take all this and I need you to go with the rest of the words that you've got all the way around, and I need you to one by one say them, write them, underline them, and see if you can decide what they mean by these things, and we'll ask you about that. All right? Okay, get her done. See ya.